All right, this lecture is all about conversion optimization strategies, or in other words, what are the different variables or some of the things that you can test on your pages when you're doing A/B testing or you're doing multivariate testing? What are some of the things that you can actually test on your website while you're doing this? And I think it's important to understand that it might be that, the smallest change can increase the amount of conversions substantially. I've been surprised many, many times when I've done this where I maybe change a button color or I change where an image is, and all of a sudden, once I've done that, the amount of conversions increases by 5, 10%, whatever it may be. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about some of the different variables that you can actually test and give you some ideas of things that you should test on your websites when you're actually going through all this and have the conversion optimization in mind. So first off, give your website visitors a price match guarantee. We've all see it, 100% price match guarantee. What this does instinctively for people is it gives them the idea that, hey, if I buy this, and this particular product or software or service, whatever it is that your website sells, if I buy this and I later find a better price, then I can always get a guarantee, a price match on that. You can always also say that there's hassle-free refunds is another example where basically you're saying, hey, 30-day money-back guarantee refund if you don't like our product or whatever timeline you'd like to have to that. So offering some type of money back refund is also something that you can try and test against. In addition to that, you could try to test and add live chat on your website. So we've all seen it on many websites where they have a little, chat now or live chat in the bottom right or something, and you click it and you can actually chat with someone. You can do a test on your website to where you have live chat implemented, and then you can do a test where you don't have that live chat, and you can see if that helps conversions as well. Another thing that you can do is focused on badges, right? So these are going to be on your most important pages that are kind of your conversion pages. It might also be on your home page to help build trust. But starting off, so adding trust badges, right? And trust badges are basically going to be really, you can have kind of two different types of trust badges. Number one is an award badge. And what I mean by badge is you take a logo of a popular blog, maybe in your niche, or a popular website in your niche, and you put something like as, seen on or as interviewed on, and then you put the logo of that particular website or that business. You do this because when people see that, and they see that, hey, this person, they were awarded or they were interviewed or whatever it may be, because you could also get an award, something like, voted top 100 blogs on internet marketing, for an example, from somewhere. I don't know of an example right now, but you could get something like that, and you throw that badge onto your website. The point is award badges, as seen on badges, anything, as interviewed on badges, those types of things build credibility for you as a brand. Another example of this would be trust badges. Now these are a little bit different, but trust badges and also I guess security badges kind of fall into this too. Those types of badges are basically logos around different places that will add trust to the user, such as something like a Better Business Bureau logo. That type of thing, someone looks at that, they trust your brand instinctively because they see, hey, they're a part of the Better Business Bureau, then they click on that and then they can go to your Better Business Bureau page. Same thing with security. If someone sees that there's a badge where it says that, hey, this website is secured or has SSL certification, in other words, it's very secure for sharing credit card information. So those types of things, those badges can also help a lot as well. One thing that I feel is kind of a no-brainer that everyone needs to do and is very important is adding testimonials. So testimonials, again, it goes into trust, right? You want to have it so that people trust you as an individual and they trust your brand or service. So when you add a testimonial, and you test that against a page that doesn't have a testimonial, you may see, and this is great for like a sign-up page or a pricing page, it provides more value. So you may see definitely a jump when you add a testimonial on these pages, and that's something that you definitely want to test. Another thing that you'd want to do is social proof, right? So the testimonials falls into social proof, but specifically pulling out things that you've gotten on your Facebook, your company Facebook page, positive sentiment from people on your Facebook page that says, hey, you know, for example, with me, onehourprofessor.com is a great website. I recommend it, highly recommend it to everyone. If you have that type of review on Facebook, you pull that right off of Facebook and you just paste it as an image on your website. It shows social proof and it focuses on that. Next, which is one that isn't always tested, but it's kind of within the content in itself, is actually using the word free. Trying to use the word free. People love free stuff. So whether it's a free trial or a free product when you purchase another product, whatever it may be, throwing that into the content in itself and testing that against a page that doesn't have the word free on it is definitely something you want to do. You can change the call to action link on a page into a button. So if you have a page on your website and it has a small link that says click here now, right, and it actually has a text that have click here now, changing that to a button that says click here now can make it so that that button stands out a lot more, right? So testing the text version of click here now versus a button version of click here now is also another test that you can do when you're doing conversion optimization. Next is creating urgency. So when you have your own website, you want to create urgency. You want people to know that, hey, I'm offering you this product, service, whatever it may be, and you should sign up for this now or really soon, and here's why. So writing copy or content on your page that, you know, one version of the page focuses on urgency as one of the selling points and saying you need to buy this now because there's only X amount available, versus another version of the page where it basically just says, hey, buy it, you know, and we're happy to deliver to you what it is that you need. So doing that it'll create some scarcity and some urgency to people because they're going to say, wow, I should buy this now, otherwise I'm not going to get it. Or wow, I should download this now, or otherwise I'm not going to get it. Testing that's a good idea. In addition to talking about the content on the page itself, make sure that you have a clear title on the page or headline on the page. Make sure that, you know, you test one headline of, you know, the best product on the internet versus another headline which would say the best product that the internet has to offer. You know, those particular headlines, just testing headlines on a specific web page can actually make a lot of changes as well. Next, adding a video. If you don't have a video on a page, you might want to test against a page where you put a video in to see if that video actually helps sell anything. And sometimes that definitely is the case. It can really help. Next is in a call to action being a button or something like that. You may have the words buy now, right? So change that buy now into something else, that text into something else. Surprisingly, this can change things a lot. So instead of, let's say that you're selling courses on the internet, and on the checkout page it says buy now as the call to action, right? Then somebody clicks on buy now and then they actually buy the product. What about if you change it to get my course now or buy my course now? Those types of very small, subtle changes can have an impact on your conversion rate. And if the impact is only, let's say that the impact is only 2 to 5%, let's say on the high end, let's say the impact is only 5%. Well, 5% more people that hit that page are going to end up purchasing. And if you have a $100 product, that could be a substantial amount of money. So you want to make sure that you make, you test out your call to action, the text within the call to action itself. Next, and this one is very important, get personal with your content. And what I mean by this is take a standard page that talks in the voice of, whatever the voice it is that you use on your website now. Maybe you wanted to appear when you created a website, maybe you wanted to appear bigger than you are. And you say, our company, our core values, blah, 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 that really corporate high-end speak to where you're kind of given the perception that you're a larger company. Try to change it to where you test against a page where it's very personal. And you say, I do this on the 1-Hour Professor website because people like to connect with other people. They don't like connecting with corporations. So I do it on my own website where I say, hi, my name is Ron. Thank you for looking at my site. Hello everyone, my name is Ron Stefanski and I'm the founder of 1HourProfessor.com. I started 1HourProfessor.com mainly out of necessity for my students. All too often they would come through my class, they would get a lot of information, but they wanted to get more. And I get really personal with it. I talk about my brothers. I have pictures of myself through various stages of my life. I have all these different things up there. I personalize my content and I let them know who I am, and I get really personal with it. I like telling them about who I am and my story. Try to change images, right? So a lot of people use stock photos when they put photos onto their website. Stock photos meaning you go onto a website, some website on the internet, and what you do is you purchase a particular image and then you put it up onto your website, which is a stock photo. So one of these would be something like Shutterstock.com, which is one that I use. And people will buy it from there and then they'll put it up on their website. Well, that's great, but instead of using those stock photos, try to take your own photos or try to find a way to get other photos that aren't so widely used and see if those, just swapping out an image. It could just be an image that's primarily blue, changing to an image that's primarily orange, in color. That could actually have an impact on your conversion rates as well. Next is changing your call to action button, changing the color on the call to action button, or even the size of the call to action button. Make it bigger. Like we said earlier, change the text on it, change the color of it. You'd be surprised if it's just a 2 or 3% conversion increase. You do that 3 or 4 times and all of a sudden you're at a total conversion rate increase of around 10%, right? So it gets pretty crazy, but look at your buttons and try to test them in different ways. The one thing I will say with this, what you would ideally do in your website, and this is something that I learned just, all the different materials that I've seen, it's a good idea to make it so that your call to action buttons are pretty much, similar throughout the site. In other words, if you have a green call to action button on one page, try to always have a green call to action button. And I say that because people instinctively, just psychologically, they click on it once and then they see, every time they see a green icon on the screen, they think instinctively, oh, okay, well that's an action. That's something that I should click on to take the next step. So you want to make sure that you do that. But changing the call to action buttons and testing it from green to blue to red to orange, whatever it may be, testing that to find the best color for your website is big, and to make sure that it fits within the theme of your website as well. And then lastly, and this is specifically on forms, when you have forms on your website. So we've all seen the forms where it's, first name, last name, email address, phone number, blah, 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 whatever it may be. What you want to do is you want to reduce, or you want to test the form fields on the page. You want to test it so that, let's say that you have 5 fields that people have to figure out, or people have to fill out rather. Let's say that you have 5 of them. Test when you reduce the form fields just down to 3. Test the bare minimums all the way down to 2. This has actually been proven time and time again statistically that the least amount of form fields that people have to fill out, the better off your conversion rate is going to be on that particular form. So that's pretty much it. And there's a ton more of different conversion variables that you can test. But this is a list of ones that I think are a good idea to examine and think about when you're looking at your website. Try these different things out. Use a service like Visual Website Optimizer to do that. But try these types of things, look at these, and try to figure out a way where you can test these different things. And after you've tested these different things, if the conversion rate shows that you're converting in a higher rate, then you should definitely look at your website, make those changes, and then test again. Conversion optimization should never stop, and it's one of those things that's going to improve your efficiencies, increase the efficiency of your website drastically.